Hello, everyone, and welcome to Auto Asphyxiation. This is Lark.
And Kimberly.
That's right, and we are here at New Level Studios in Clifton, New Jersey. And we're excited because, again, we're in our second live show. We're always live, but now you can actually see us. We're real people. We're not AI.
We're not AI.
We're not AI. That's right. But we have an exciting episode today. And it's actually, I want to talk about, it is about the League of American Bicyclists, which is a pristine organization. And I want to first start off with, in 2006, I saw Inconvenient Truth. You remember Inconvenient Truth with Al Gore? I was on Santa Monica Pier, and I was watching it, and I had just gotten a Mini Cooper. I was on the waiting list. And I had gotten it. It got all like the little bells and whistles. It was like a baby blue color. And I saw Inconvenient Truth, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am killing the planet. At this point, I decided to get rid of my car and, essentially never renew my driver's license and ride my bicycle forever. It's amazing, right?
It is amazing.
Amazing. So as I was riding my bicycle, I was given this kind of like instructions. And they said, hey, if you're riding your bike, make sure you take the lane. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand that. Like, yeah, take the lane. And so I'm in Los Angeles, where I'm from. And I'm on like Sunset Boulevard, and I'm taking the lane, and I'm scared. I feel like I'm going to die. And then I'm like, what's wrong with me? The manual, even though like it wasn't manual, but it was kind of like this idea in Los Angeles and just in the United States, when you're riding a bicycle, you pretend to be a car. And you ride your bicycle, you pretend to be a car. And I was like, whoa, this seems kind of a little bit a lot. All right. And we've learned this is from the John Forester School. John Forester. And John Forester was essentially, he started vehicular cycling. So essentially he says, use your bicycle like a car. And in like the 70s, essentially in the 70s when we had the oil crisis, there was this idea that we had to get off the car and we need to like start riding our bicycles. In places like Scandinavia and Amsterdam and Europe and stuff like that, they were like, yes, we need to start riding our bicycles. We need alternative transportation. And they were like, let's have bike lanes. But John Forester was like, no, we're cars. We don't need that. And if you can't ride 25 miles per hour, you don't even you shouldn't even be on the bike anyway. You shouldn't even be on the bike because that's not, the bike is for people who ride 25 miles per hour. He's a British guy. He was raised in like Northern California, but ended up in Los Angeles, and he died in 2020. So I'm saying all this to say, a lot of people are like, John Forester, boo, that's the reason why we don't have bike lanes. And I'm like, yeah, that's really good conversation. But for me, it seems like League of American Bicyclists, and I don't know this. I don't know this for sure. But it appears to me that League of American Bicyclists has picked up the John Forester model. And I know I've said a lot, but what are your thoughts about League of American Bicyclists and this whole idea that they're just like, oh, everybody's kind of saying we are not John Forester disciples, but League of American Bicyclists feels very John Forester-like.
I think they definitely do. And before emails start, please, people say that they don't like the Forester School of Cycling anymore, and they say that the same way that corporations say that they've moved past using asbestos.
I mean, this is the whole, this is the thing, and the problem and the challenge with this is that when you look at the essentially League of American Bicyclists do this whole thing where they teach people how to ride their bikes properly. They teach people how to ride their bikes properly. And on the first page of like how to ride a bicycle, right? On the first page of how to ride a bicycle, what does it say on there, Kimberly?
Page 1, not chapter 3. It's not a footnote. It is on page 1, the section titled, Where Should I Ride on the Road? And the answer is, take the lane.
And I was like, I thought you guys said you weren't doing that anymore. I thought we weren't doing that because that was insane. That's just me, though. I mean, you know what? We're just here, and I really want to be like, as we're having this conversation, Kimberly, can you read our disclaimer?
Oh, absolutely. Everything discussed here reflects our analysis and opinion based on publicly available materials and established critiques in transportation policy. We encourage listeners to review original sources and engage in good faith debate.
That's right. That's what we are doing. We're doing good faith debate. We are really trying to we're trying to discover what exactly is going on. And so I want to talk about the Smart Cycling Manual. We already talked about this. And I feel that if we want to talk about the fact that we want to have true infrastructure, I feel something that's very interesting is that in New Jersey, we had S4834. And S4834 was a electric bike bill. And in this bill, it essentially was going to you need driver's license and you need insurance in order to, or have your bicycle registered in order to ride an electric bicycle. And this kind of goes, when you look at the League of American Bicyclists, one of the things they really kind of, their sponsors, let's look at some of their sponsors. Let's look at some of the sponsors of League of American Bicyclists. So they have GM, and GM is a car company, right?
Yes, General Motors, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Then we have Waymo. What's Waymo? What is that?
Autonomous vehicles, taxi services.
Okay, autonomous vehicles.
Recently, no, that was the robot delivery with Uber that made it to Jersey City. Is Waymo in Jersey City yet?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure it may be coming. I almost got run over by an autonomous vehicle at Costco. Yeah. Anyway, but it was owned by an individual person, not a company. It was a Tesla. Anyway, and then we have People for Bikes, which is a industry lobby. I know a lot of people think People for Bikes is an advocacy organization. Okay, it may be. It's an advocacy organization for businesses, which totally fine. And then we have Lyft, which is supposed to be the good
rideshare service.
It's the good, because apparently there's a good one and a bad one. And then we have Uber. I don't know if that means the Uber is bad. And also we have 70 different, okay, and I'll tell you something. I didn't count them all, okay? I started to lose count. And so I counted at least 70 different personal injury lawyers also that was part of League of American Bicyclists. And in my head, with the League of American Bicyclists, I was like, we have a lot of lawyers. We have a lot of lawyers that are part of this. And I was like, how, and you know what, I want to tell you something, because I don't call them that. I do not call personal injury attorneys ambulance chasers. I don't do that. That is wrong. That's like a slur against attorneys, and I would never do that. I mean, and so when you think about the law, and when you think about personal injury attorneys, what would that in any way, do you think, impact how League of American Bicyclists would advocate for infrastructure or bicycling or narrative? Do you think that might have any bearing on that?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think that has a lot of bearing on it, in fact.
Yeah. I think it has a lot of bearing on it too. But I was told by someone that means they care. That because lawyers care, personal injury lawyers, they care a lot about you. And so I was like, okay, this is very interesting. But I think that one of the things they do care about is kind of having this safety narrative. Because we know is in bicycling, especially in bicycling, it's very much like, you need to be safe. You need to be safe. Safety, the police, all these things. And so when you have this kind of narrative, you don't really, okay, I'm being very cynical here, but I think infrastructure might give you might impact your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's an underlying framework to all of it. Cars are dangerous. Victims deserve expansive legal remedies. Fear of lawsuits will force better behavior. That's not safety. That is market-based justice.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, we are simply pointing these out. We're just asking questions, you know? We are here, we're making a good faith argument. We are here just looking at the facts and presenting them to you. And I think that's something that's like really important that you should know. I mean, I think about the fact, think about this. They're talking about safety. And I thought about, there's this person, and let me try to think. The person that is the sponsor of S4834, the name escapes me, but I remember, the name escapes me, but I remember on this person's website, it said, providing exceptional services in a neighborhood setting. We represent parties in motor vehicle accidents, construction sites, accidents, fall downs, and workplace injuries, as well as DWIs and traffic tickets. And this same person, the person who's the sponsor of 4834, in the Bergen Record said, I have 6 bicycles in my backyard, no electric ones yet. Now, really, you know, here's the, and it doesn't really matter what their name is. It doesn't matter. Because what we're saying here is that, and this is about a worldview. So this isn't about morals like, oh, someone's not telling the truth or someone's lying or something like that. Some people have a worldview where in bicycling, infrastructure is the key. And some people's worldview is, let's be independent, let's be individual. And the important part is shaming people, suing people, and scaring people into acting right because we have this situation within bicycling where it's called roadie culture.
And that sounds like a cult.
It sounds like a cult, but keep in mind, friends, it's not a cult. It just sounds like one. They do culty-like things, but they're not a cult. Now, the thing is, just like Legal American Bicyclists, not a cult. Not a cult. They're a 100-year organization that we greatly respect. Now, the thing is about roadie culture is they're very much, and this is something that I've kind of noticed. This is not everyone, but something I've noticed that they don't like electric bicycles. They don't like infrastructure because infrastructure will slow them down. If you look at like bike lanes in like Amsterdam or just around Europe, you notice that there are people riding their bicycles, and they're like little kids riding their bicycles, and there's like, you know, primary caregivers riding their bicycles.
The whole community, everybody.
Yeah, the community.
The community is out.
So it's about the community. But in the United States, there's a group of people, and you'll even see them. They're in the park. They have on like spandex. And, you know, and they're riding their bicycle as fast as they can. And then the kids are like on the trail, and they're just like, kid, get out of the way. They don't even slow down.
Yep.
They want to like punish you because how dare you be in their way?
Yeah.
So this is not, it seems like they're exercising, right?
Yeah.
Does it feel like that's it's not like, would you drive your car as fast as you could? Like on like, okay, people do drive as fast as they can, and I shouldn't be doing that.
In a 25-mile-per-hour school zone, would you drive your car as fast as you possibly could?
You know what? A roadie would.
A roadie would.
A roadie would, because to a roadie, that's like, you know, it's a road. Why are kids there? Why are kids anywhere? Why aren't they with the women? What is going on? Again, I'm just kind of like, we don't know. But okay, we'll say all of these things. So we're here, and we think about the 3 feet, 4 feet position, 3 feet, 4 feet law, where essentially they're like, you're supposed to share a lane with a 2-ton car.
That terrifies me.
Oh, and if you're driving, you should just get out of the way, because that's a law now. And it's weird how this law, it's weird how we have 100 attorneys sponsoring League of American Bicyclists, and even though they always talk about, we care about people of color, we care about the delivery drivers, we care, but yet who is benefiting from a 3 feet, 4 feet law? Is it the delivery drivers?
No.
No, it looks like to me, Uber Eats,
Yeah.
DoorDash, people who can afford lawyers. I mean, I think about it, Kimberly, we're both working class gals. And this is something like we don't really talk about in the United States. We're both working class gals. And I'll tell you something. The whole idea of getting an attorney was like, well, I could use that to eat.
No, exactly.
Oh, $2,000 to get a lawyer? I'll just tell you. I know they're just kind of like, well, these lawyers are like, well, we represent anybody. I'll tell you something. Working class people, we don't get lawyers, okay? We don't get lawyers. I understand that. I understand in like theory, we could get a lawyer and we could get someone to do pro bono work, but you would have to have friends. You would have to know
work.
The legwork, the time, the paperwork, the going into court. So this whole the reason why we have this is because we care about working class delivery. And I always love the fact when they start talking about like working class delivery driver, because I always go, I'm working class. Okay, yeah. You can have this conversation with somebody who is, I don't know, part of the nonprofit industrial complex. We are not part of that, are we? No, we're not. We don't have. We're not a nonprofit. We don't do solutions journalism. We do urban criticism. So we are not beholden to these interesting narratives. Because I'm not going to call them lies, because we're going to say we have a worldview and they have a worldview, and neither of us are lying. No, neither of us are lying. We're just, and I think one of the things that's really interesting is that we essentially have an elite capture of bicycling in the United States. And the elitism is not merely just about money. It's also about ableism. Who can ride their bike 25 miles per hour?
Very fit individuals who regularly ride their bike. That's not something that a mom running to the store for groceries could do, or grandma could do while she was just riding around town to get out of the house.
Exactly. And so the thing is, the salient point is that in this model, which that League of American Bicyclists, Forrester pushes, it seems very moralistic, very much like sinners need to be punished. Punishment, infrastructure, that is coddling. That is not giving people freedom. We need to have the freedom to do what we want, and if you essentially get in our way, we need to have the freedom to punish you. And I think that this is a very, very salient point of this entire conversation. And also, I think, and let's go back to the S-4834. It passed the House. It passed both houses in Trenton.
Yes.
So we had this on January 12th. They voted for it. We've been watching this bill. It passed the House, and now it's on Phil Murphy's desk. And today, on Tuesday, he will either sign it, not sign it, or veto it. If he signs it, this law goes into effect. And I'll tell you something. Regardless of what happens, the problem is that even representatives who care about cycling were like, who signed this bill. And people are just, and I think some interesting conversation in the cycling community is very much like, that's just because they're ignorant and they don't understand.
Well, I think that this is, I think that, we have a very reactionary kind of government, and they react very quickly and put reactionary laws into place that harm people rather than actually helping people.
Exactly. we have this reactionary type of a system. And also, though, if you think about it this way, what have we been doing? And I'm going to say we. I don't really feel myself. I'm not part of the sweaty balls crew. No, just kidding. I'm not, but maybe I shouldn't call you guys that. You might view it as insulting, but I'm just taking a joke. You guys know I'm friends with you, right? I mean, I ride my bike to work every single day, which I think I probably ride my bike more than most of the cycling advocates in New Jersey. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I think I do. But I think the important thing is here, the salient point here is people have even our allies in Trenton voted for this electric bicycle bill. And the reason why is because, number one, we essentially let the business lobby describe what a bicycle is. We let them call, they keep going, well, see, class 3 bicycles aren't really a bicycle. Well, why do you call it a bicycle?
Why are you still referring to it as a class 3 bicycle, then change the name of it?
Exactly. And then you wonder, and you're like, well, see, what you don't understand is it's a different kind of, you know what, this is foolishness. And another thing, I think that we have another situation going on where we have a roadie culture.
Oh, absolutely.
And that roadie culture is ableist. That roadie culture doesn't like electric bikes. That roadie culture has quite a bit of money. That roadie culture decides the narrative of alternative transportation, whether it be through Streets Blog, whether it be through Open Plans, whether it be through Gothamist. These are all New York-based publications that are funded by people who are essentially billionaires, some of the richest people in the country. And we have this situation where we have this narrative. I mean, we have these people who are kind of taking over this conversation. And instead of fighting for infrastructure, instead of fighting for pro-social policies, we have this thing where we're fighting. We're fighting. And okay, I was losing my point. But my point is this, is that I don't feel that roadies have solidarity with utilitarian riders. I don't feel that. Exactly. I don't feel like roadies have solidarity with primary caregivers who ride their bike. I don't think roadies have solidarity with me. I don't even have an electric bike. I ride my bicycle on Bloomfield Avenue, which is quite dangerous. So I'm just as badass as you, okay? So I could say all these things because I can ride my bike as far and as fast. And not only that, I'm probably faster than you. So I can make these commentaries, and it's not like, oh, she's just angry because she can't ride a bike. I promise you, friend, I can ride a bike, okay? I can ride a bike. I'm faster than you. But I can't. But go ahead. You're going to say something.
Well, these people wonder why people hate them. But seriously, they wonder why people hate them. Like, I've been on, when I used to live in the woods, I've been on, short, narrow, twisty-turny mountain roads and had people take the lane in front of me, and it's absolutely terrifying. For me as a person that's driving also, it's unsafe. It makes me feel like I'm instantaneously going to hit somebody, which, of course, I don't want to do. But, you, honk your horn at somebody, or you try to go around them slowly or anything like that, and, they will throw things at you.
Well, and I think this is very interesting. People are like, well, people throw things at us too. And I'm just like, look, you understand that in our society, the way the infrastructure is set up, it is antisocial behavior. Yes, driving is antisocial behavior, but if you want to act like you're riding, I'll put it this way, I have my little I have my little folded bike, and if I want to pretend, number one, I ride my bicycle early in the morning, and I'm actually pretty fast. But if you are riding 10 miles per hour, and you're any possible way, I'm not as fast as I should be, considering. Like, I'll try something. I wouldn't do that at like 8:30.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to ride my bicycle at 8:30, because at this point, what are you doing exactly? And I think this is one of the problems. If we try to make it seem like this is totally reasonable, this is totally acceptable, and this is in their, what's it called, smart cycling book?
Yes.
This is in their smart cycling book. This is how,
Page 1.
and, yeah, and people have this idea like, oh, well, why are people upset? Are you for real? Are we? I mean, we want to create a pro-social world. We want to create good vibes. And I understand. They were like, oh, we have to have this solidarity conversation. We can't ever say that we're ever in the wrong. I'll say this. I don't think it's wrong if someone doesn't have a car. I clearly don't think that. I don't think it's wrong if someone takes a bus. I don't think it's wrong if someone rides a bike on the street. What I do think is wrong is the fact that we allow business lobbies, we allow lawyers, we allow elite capture of a way of transport that's supposed to be pro-social, that everywhere else in the world is a pro-social way of getting around. But for some reason, in the United States, we have the ability to turn everything nice into some weird, sadistic competition, and then we act like, well, I don't know, well, I don't understand. And the thing that makes me so mad, Kimberly, is that I look and I see all the sponsors that these different major bike organizations get. And they have people who are bicycle enthusiasts from Europe, from all over the world, but they don't understand that I feel some people in cycling are not engaged in a good faith argument. I'm engaged in a good faith argument here. And like I said, I put this challenge out there. I put the challenge out there to us as if your point is to race, if your point is to go 30 miles per hour, if your point is the Greenway where you ride your bike from the tip of the East Coast, where is it, Maine? What is it? You already know that.
Yeah.
Maine to the bottom was Florida or something, to Florida. And you want to do that on the weekends, you want to ride like 20, 30 miles, 100 miles, you want to do the century. If that is your whole point, that's fine. But don't try to make it seem like you want everybody on the road. And then take all of the money, all of the funding, all of the air, all of the media, all the resources from people who are trying to make this something that we can all do. And this is not even about the whole, I know they really want the nonprofit industrial complex. Well, is this about racism? No, this is not about racism. And it's what you guys always try to do. Like, well, we'll throw some black people up there in some spandex, and we can show that, see, we include everybody.
Everybody can be part of the Sweaty Balls crew.
Everybody can have sweaty balls, okay? I don't want to be part of your crew. We don't want to be part of that. That's not what we want. That's what I said. You know, I know this is right. This is going to probably kill them, because that was there's always their go-to, and ours is not even that. We don't care about. No, we don't want to see more women in spandex. We don't want to see more people of color in spandex. We don't want to.
I want to see more moms in dresses, riding their bicycles, going to pick up their kids after school. I want to see more little old ladies just going around the town. Like, I want to see little old men hitting on those little old ladies. Like, that's what I want to see, people in regular clothes. Like, and think about, when I was talking about like those drivers, those riders, the roadies will throw things at you. Like, think about you're a representative of the cyclist community. Why do you think everybody hates you?
Exactly. And this whole, like, I don't understand. Why would you not like the fact that I just like ride, like, almost tried to run your kid down, and then I made a law so you go to jail, like your parents. That's the whole thing too. And we're gonna wrap this up soon, but think about this. And this is something I'm afraid of, and it's something that I have a fear of. As a person that was from Los Angeles, that was from a neighborhood that was gentrified, my father is 89 years old. And I always lived, and he used to ride his bike everywhere. He used to ride his bike everywhere. But sometimes he does have to drive a car. And I'm terrified of one day and this is everybody's fear, whether you're in gentrified Brooklyn, gentrified Montclair, the Bronx, we're all terrified of somebody from Iowa riding their bike in the middle of the street, and then my dad accidentally not accident, crashes into them, and they try to put my dad in jail. And I live in that in fear of, I know that seems really kind of wild, but I'm like, because they'd rather have the jail and punishment conversation than the infrastructure conversation, who's at risk for that? Who's going to be most likely to get run over? Because you know what? I know something about these roadie people. They don't go to Upper Montclair and do that. They don't go to the Upper East Side, New York, and do that. They don't go to Malibu and do that. No, they go to Latinx, Latino, Puerto Rican, Chicano, Black neighborhoods, working class neighborhoods, and then they pull that. They don't pull that in Beverly Hills because they know not to do that. And then they want to play like, oh, we don't understand. You act like so many of these people. We're going to have this conversation. I know, I'm about to wrap it up. So many people who are in development, who are in tech, are in bicycling, and they're weaponizing bicycling against working class people, and they act like we're not supposed to notice that.
Yeah.
Like and again, they probably hate me because you don't give me any money. I can say what I want. I can tell you about yourself, and I've been doing this for, I don't know, now it's 20 years. I don't even know how it's possible because I'm 25 years old, so I have no idea how that's possible.
It's amazing how time works in a reverse like that. Right?
It's amazing. So, with that, I just feel like we need to do better. We need to, create a different narrative. We need to follow the ball, and the ball is pro-sociality. The ball is true inclusiveness, not tokenism. We need to think about people who are disabled. Think about seniors. Think about people who don't go, oh, you hit me, I'm going to lawyer up. I remember we were talking one time and something happened and one of us had to get a lawyer and we were just like, I would rather use that money for rent.
Yeah.
Because and that's working.
That's what real life is for a working class person.
Yeah, and it is. So this whole we're trying to help, yeah, whatever. You're not trying to help nothing. So we need, with that, I think that, I don't know if the League of American Bicyclists needs to change what they're doing. Or do we need another organization? An organization that really is about utilitarian bicycling and not about racing? Because that's what it comes off to me. They say, oh, no, that's not true. Well, that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like to me, too. And I'm not, as I've said before, I'm not a cyclist. I'm not somebody that rides a bicycle all the time. That's how it comes off to me, that these are people who want to race on the streets and, quote, unquote, take the lane and just ride around in packs.
Exactly. And that's not what we're trying to do. And that's not what League of American Bicyclists pretends to do. I shouldn't say pretend, but I don't feel that their intent, whatever they were intending to do, it's not coming off well. And with that, we are going to end. Is there any final words that you have to say?
Thank you for joining us, and please subscribe. Please share around with everybody you love, especially your Republican uncles.
That's right. Share it with everyone. Share it to people, because I'll tell you something. We're going to have a conversation about people for bikes next time. Because we love them too. We love them too. And that's the whole thing. We say all of this with love. We want you to be better. That's all. We want you to improve yourself. Just like, I'm sure you also probably could critique us. We also critique you. We're urban critics, and we're sorry. You're not used to that. We know you're used to solutions journalism and all this other stuff that has killed writing. Solutions journalism, that is oh my God, horrible. Okay, I shouldn't say that because we're never going to get funding ever. Never getting funding. But we will take ads from people.
Absolutely.
That's right. We'll take ads, so you can contact us. Again, we would like to thank New Studio, podcasting company, New Studios.
New Level Studios in Clifton, New Jersey.
Right, New Level Studios. This is why Kimberly is here. Because my mind is just like, Anyway, okay, and thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful rest 2026.